Once again, on behalf of the Rotary eClubs of Chennai Prisms, Coimbatore Changemakers, and Ranipet Elite, I take great honor and privilege in welcoming all the dignitaries for this joint speaker meeting, where we have a great person, Mr. T.N.Raghu, someone whose passion for football knows no bounds. He will we'll have the honor of listening to him speak about the topic football and Tamil Nadu. We welcome all of you. Let's start the meeting with a prayer song as usual. And since we are speaking about football and Tamil Nadu, I think it's right that we start the meeting with the Tamil Thai Valtu. Just let me pay the Tamil Thai Valtu for all of us. Thank you, everyone. All Rotary meetings start with a recital of four-way test, which is a test on the ethics proposed by Rotary. So let me recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Now, may I have the honor of inviting the president of the Rotary Club of Chennai Prisms, Rotarian Harita ma'am, to formally welcome the gathering.
Thank you, sir. Dignified speaker, Mr. So excuse me, am I audible? Fine.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Dignified speaker, Mr. T.N.Raghu, founder of Goal Quiz, Rotarian Vasudevan, president of RC Coimbatore Changemakers, Rotarian Dr. Varun Reddy, president of RC Ranipet Elite, and my fellow Rotarians. I, Harita, the president of Chennai Prisms, convey my thanks for giving me this wonderful opportunity to give the welcome address. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. If you want something that you never had, you have to do something that you've never done. Visions and dreams are achieved through taking small steps, delayed gratifications, and using strategic thinking. I extend my warm welcomes to all the prosperous minds for an informative and valuable evening. The one who can tell you you can't win is the one who you don't have to listen to. Life is an interesting sport where you win, lose, you target and shoot the goals. Sometimes it's a goal and sometimes it's not. But the thing is, we have to play it. But we should never stop, keep trying. One thing we should look is how to convert each and every minute as a goal. So never give up and keep shooting your goals and keep your aims higher. Thank you all for being here. For I know many of you have taken the time away from your busy schedule to be here as a part of this great event. So without further delay, let's get into the session. And once again, I welcome you all for joining this event and making this evening a memorable one. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, madam, for your warm welcome. We have three lovely clubs organizing this meeting. All the clubs were started in the last Rotary year, 2021-22. Let us take a moment to understand and learn about these three clubs. First, may I request Dr. Varun or someone to represent the Rotary Club of Ranipet Elite and share a few words about your club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, doctor, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's indeed a pleasure to have been invited to join all our three e-clubs, which the e-club is actually a quite different way of working in a Rotary thing. So I first welcome and thank Rotary Club of Coimbatore Changemakers. Thank you so much. And then President Rotarian Vasudevan sir, Rotarian Harita madam, and all my fellow Rotarians. So it is a very interesting topic to speak about football. It is actually, they always say that India is only about cricket. So I welcome Mr. T.N.Raghu sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking a good initiative, for being a excellent maybe coach. You are a founder, a quiz maker, a quiz conductor, and all, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Let's make it big in not only in Tamil Nadu as well as all over India. And from our club, like Ranipet eClub, Ranipet Elite, we are very happy to have you here, sir. We are waiting for a very warm address from you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for making it here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor, for a briefing of the Rotary E-Club of Ranipet Elite. As you said, the E-Clubs have a totally different way of functioning and we are all getting used to it. I have the honor of sharing a few words about the Rotary E-Club of Coimbatore Changemakers. We were a club of 25 Rotarians. We are spread all over the country, and we are also have our members from Belgium, Canada, Singapore, and Kuwait. And we are all past Rotaractors. It's a 100% alumni-based E-Club. Most of us were Rotaractors from 1998 till 2005. And now we are all a part of this Rotary E-Club of Coimbatore Changemakers. We were admitted into Rotary on 20th September 2021. We also shared the same charter day with the Rotary Club of Ranipet Elite. We are actually having the same birthday. And we, for the last 1 year, we've been doing the service, what we could do. We've been conducting meetings regularly. We've been doing projects regularly. And we also been trying to reach out to fellow E-Clubs so that we can understand each other well. And it's a great honor for the Rotary E-Club of Coimbatore Changemakers to have eminent personality like T.N.Raghu sir. We thank him for kindly consenting to be a part of our meeting. We have our President Rotarian Vasudevan, who's taken the presidentship again this year to ensure that because we were installed very late last year. So we welcome all on behalf of the Rotary E-Club of Coimbatore Changemakers. And this is a very brief introduction about the Rotary E-Club of Coimbatore Changemakers. We are here to make small but definite changes in the society. Thank you. Now, may I have the honor of requesting to know about the Rotary E-Club of Chennai Prisms. Harita ma'am or somebody can share a brief note about the Rotary E-Club of Chennai Prisms. Am I audible?
Yes, Ratnavil, you're audible.
Okay. The Rotary E-Club of Chennai Prisms was also started last year. They were started on the Farmers' Day, 23rd December of 2021. And I think they are doing a lot of lovely service for the past 1 year. I think we are not able to connect with Harita ma'am.
Hello, sir. Sir, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We would like you to share a few words about Rotary E-Club.
No, you can take over, sir. No problem. I just wanted to know that I'm there in the thing. It's fine.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you to Rotary eClub of Chennai Prisms for joining this meeting. Now may I have the honor of inviting the President of Rotary eClub of Coimbatore Changemakers, Rotarian Vasudevan, to introduce our guest speaker of the day.
Thanks, Ratnavil. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to introduce our today's guest, Mr. T.N.Raghu, a commentator on Star Sports Tamil and Sony Sports Network, have commentated on the Olympics, the Indian Super League, Pro Kabaddi League, and Khelo India Youth Games. He has 16 years of experience in print journalism, an alumnus of Asian College of Journalism, Chennai, had been a sports reporter for Times of India, Hyderabad, and Deccan Chronicle, Chennai. Mr. Raghu covered the FIFA World Cup from South Africa 2010, Brazil 2014, and Russia 2018, besides an Olympics from Beijing in 2008. Have also covered Formula One and NBA from the venue. In addition, he reported sports in India in general and in Chennai in particular exclusively. He published a book, This Is Not Football. Mr. Raghu founded a quiz company, Goal Quiz, and conducted nearly 50 quizzes offline and online. Kalaivanar Arangam, MOP, Vaishnav College, Anna University, Shankar IAS Academy, Wales International School, Patrician College, and DG Vaishnav College are some of the venues of his quizzes. Mr. Raghu conducted a statewide quiz to mark the National Voters' Day in the year 2019, 2020, 2021, and 22 for the Chief Electoral Officer, Tamil Nadu. Goal Quiz conducted a mega state-level inter-school sports quiz in 2019 and a sports quiz for colleges in 2020. And he runs a YouTube channel, Goal Quiz Sports, with more than 18,000 subscribers, where sports shows, quizzes, debates, and interviews are conducted. So today evening, it's a pride moment to have Mr. T.N.Raghu with us, and I'm sure the evening will be grateful. Thanks. Over to you, Ratnavil.
Thank you, Rotarian Vasudevan, for a warm introduction. And I think all of us are here waiting to hear from our guest speaker, Raghu sir. And before we move on to Raghu sir, we specially recognize the presence of Rotractors from the Rotary Club of Coimbatore Royals. Thank you. And we also recognize the presence of Professor D. Saravanamurthy, Physical Education, Head of the Physical Education Department and Football Team of University College of Engineering, Nagarkoil. Thank you. Over to T.N.Raghu sir. Sir, it's all yours.
Thank you, Professor.
Raghu sir, you are muted, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ratnavil, for inviting me. Thank you for the nice introduction, Rotarian Vasudevan. Members of Rotary eClubs of Chennai Prisms, Coimbatore Changemakers, and Ranipet Elite. Thanks a lot, first of all, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And talking about football is always a pleasure for me. And I'm going to talk about Tamil Nadu football, or football in Tamil Nadu, on a day. The Chess Olympiad, 44th Chess Olympiad, was inaugurated a few moments ago. Chennai and Tamil Nadu is the chess capital of India. Chennai or Tamil Nadu is definitely not the football capital of India, but at the same time, we do have a history. We do have a heritage. So I'm going to touch upon a few topics about football in Tamil Nadu. Don't worry, it's not going to be a long session. I'm looking forward to an interactive session with you all. As a journalist, I can talk and talk and talk. It can go on forever, but I don't want to trouble you much. So I will keep my speech short, and then we can have a lively interactive session. I can share my experience with you. So that's my agenda for the day. When I read a book written by the late Novi Kapadia, eminent football commentator, author, I was first happy to get my hands on a football book about Indian football, but I was not so happy when I turned the pages of the book. There was nothing, precious nothing about Tamil Nadu. I even called him up and registered my protest. Sir, Tamil Nadu has football. You have completely ignored my state. I'm not calling you just because I am from Tamil Nadu, but you should have given more space for Tamil Nadu football. After all, the last scorer in the Olympics, in Olympics football for India, is from Tanjavur. He's still alive. Mr. Simon Sundarraj. He scored a screamer against Peru in the 1960 Rome Olympics. It was the last Olympics India took part. And in 1956 Olympics, there was another Tamil, also from Tanjavur, J. Krishnaswamy alias Kittu, scored a goal against Australia, where India finished 4th. And in the 1948 Olympics, there was a Tamil, not from Tamil Nadu, but from Hyderabad, by name Dandraj, who took part in the London Olympics. And if you talk about Tamils from other states, we do have a rich history. T. Balram, his original name was Balaraman, but he was converted into a non-Tamil by being called T. Balram from Hyderabad, and Peter Tangraj, also from Hyderabad. D. Kannan, another super player from Hyderabad. They have all played in the Olympics, represented India at the Olympics. All of them were Tamil. Peter Tangraj is no more, and as is D. Kannan, but T. Balram is still there. He's in Kolkata. He's a bachelor. He's in his 80s. He's not in great health. He was not recognized for his achievements. He is one of the best Indian forwards ever. When you go to Bangalore, that is Karnataka football, quite a few Tamil players of Tamil origin, who have proved themselves for India in the international arena. Arumai Nayagam, Ethiraj, Ulaganathan. They're all fantastic players. Arumai Nayagam was part of the 1962 Asian Games team. He was the youngest player in the team. He was also a star player for Mohan Bagan. And there was a coach from Karnataka, that is from Bangalore, T. Shanmugam. He transformed Goan football in the 80s through his coaching. He was the coach of Salgaonkar Football Club. He won the Santosh Trophy for Goa. Goans still remember him. So, Tamils in general, players from Tamil Nadu in particular, have contributed to Indian football. Unfortunately, Novi Kapadia had not given them any space in his book. That picked me. In fact, that aroused my interest in Tamil Nadu football. I had been covering Tamil Nadu football for quite some time. I also had an opportunity to contribute a chapter on football on a broad sports book about Tamil Nadu, sports in Tamil Nadu, which was edited by the late S. Muttaya, the chronicler of the famous chronicler of Chennai. So I had an opportunity to dig deep about football in Tamil Nadu. fascinating stories emerged from my research. There was a tournament in Chennai by name E.K. Chetty Cup or Madras Gymkhana Club Cup. As cricket was developed in MCC in Chennai, football was developed at Madras Gymkhana Club in the late 19th century. So in 1895, there was a football tournament in Chennai, one of the oldest in the country. As you would all know, Durand Cup is the third oldest tournament in the world. It started in Shimla, Himachal Pradesh in 1888, followed by the Rovers Cup in Mumbai 1891 and the IFA Shield in Kolkata in 1893. So our E.K. Chetty Cup was the fourth oldest in India. Not many people know this honor. And we had, that is, Chennai had a tournament for school students in 1906, Lolly Cup. The following year, there was another tournament instituted for college students, Wilson Cup. And football was a flourishing sport in the 20s and 30s. Pachepas FCs, Tilak Moti, and Minerva were the notable clubs those days. And the Madras Football Association was founded in 1934, 13 years before independence. One of the oldest associations in the whole country. And a first division league started 2 years later, that is in 1936. By 1960, Tamil Nadu had around 100 clubs. Those days, Tamil Nadu comprised parts of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and also Kerala. So it was a flourishing association, football association. Lots of tournaments for lower division clubs. There was a tiebreaker tournament. And later on, there was the Vittel Trophy All India tournament. It was an international tournament, by the way. Teams from Malaysia and Sri Lanka also took part. The TFA Shield. In the 60s and 70s, the old Corporation Stadium, more than 10,000 fans used to pack the makeshift stands for the local matches. Police on horseback needed to restore order after the matches. The gate collection was huge. It was one of the most lucrative leagues in the whole country. So we do have some heritage, some history in football. In 60s and 70s, ICF and Wimco Match Factory football team were so popular that the two clubs had an exclusive set of fans. Matches between Wimco and ICF used to be as intense as the ones between Real Madrid and Barcelona in La Liga. It was the derby in Chennai football. Educationist A. Lakshmanaswamy Mudaliar had been a president of the Madras Football Association. He'd done a lot of service to develop, lot of work to develop football in Chennai. With a lot of private government clubs like ICF, Southern Railway, RBI, State Bank of India, Chennai Port Trust, football had its own place on Tamil Nadu's sports map because Chennai was the nerve center. All the institutional teams were located in Chennai. So best players from other districts, Coimbatore, Trichy, Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli, had to come to Chennai to prove their mettle. And if you watch local football, you would know the passion, the raw passion of fans. I have covered 3 World Cups from the venue, but when I go to a match in Chennai, that is to cover a match in the Chennai League, I'd be full of excitement, as if I was about to witness Brazil versus Argentina, Brazil versus Germany in a World Cup. That is the passion local football induces in fans. There are many other more passionate fans of Chennai football. Lots of working class people, porters, rickshaw pullers, daily wage laborers. They follow football with a lot of interest. Their knowledge, their technical knowledge is outstanding. We can discuss anything about football with them. I have experienced it in and around the Nehru Stadium in Chennai. Unfortunately, Tamil Nadu could not win a Santosh Trophy. This is the senior national championship in football. We had been to two finals, one in 1972, another in 2012. The first final we lost to Bengal, and the second one we lost to Services. Chennai has conducted the SAF games in 1995, Nehru Cup in 93, and Jayalalitha Gold Cup in 1993 for women. And we have conducted 10 Santosh Trophy tournaments in our state, which is the third highest behind West Bengal and Kerala. We had tournaments outside Chennai too, like the Nilgiris Trophy in Ooty, Rockford Trophy in Trichy, Majura Courts tournament in Madurai, Asad Trophy in Kailpatnam, Kanagasabai Trophy in Sivagasi. With the exception of Azad Trophy, all other tournaments have ceased to exist. And we had a tournament in memory of Father McFerrin, who encouraged a lot of sporting activities in Don Bosco, Chennai. It was a very popular tournament. 3 or 4 years ago, there was one edition at Red Hills. You should come and watch the tournament. Hundreds of fans would come for the matches. One of the best atmospheres you can ever see in a football match. Once again, there was another father, Catholic father, Gerard. No wonder he was from Kerala, so he was the brains behind the tournament. He's no more. I don't know whether the tournament will continue. And in 1955 and 58, MRC Wellington, Madras Regimental Center, Wellington Nilgiris, won the Durand Cup twice. Peter Tangraj was playing for the team then. So, as I told you, Durand Cup is the third oldest tournament in the entire world after the FA Cup and the Scottish Cup. So, Tamil Nadu has the honor of winning it twice. A Tamil Nadu team, MRC Wellington. There was not much about the triumph, not much about the fact that Udagamattam Ooty is in Tamil Nadu in Novi Kapadia's book. It really got me agitated. And then Raman Vijayan, one of my commentators on TV now, he had a job in Indian Bank. He quit it and then went to professional football. He played for East Bengal, scored important goals and turned to represent India as well. He has won 2 Santosh Trophies, not for Tamil Nadu, West Bengal. And Sabir Pasha, the assistant coach of Chennai FC, also represented India with distinction. One interesting fact is, when Kerala won the Santosh Trophy for the first time, their coach was Mr. Simon Sundarraj, former India player from Tanjavur. So he's a folk hero in Kerala. Every time, the last edition of Santosh Trophy happened in Kerala, it was a huge success. Thousands of fans watched it. It happened in Malappuram, the headquarters of football, the hotbed of football. Every time the Santosh Trophy comes around, there will be an invitation for Simon Sundarraj to go to Kerala. He would share his experience of how he guided Kerala to their maiden Santosh Trophy title. He is a big hero in Kerala football, but not many people know about him in Tamil Nadu. As the president of Tamil Nadu Sports Journalist Association, I had the honor of inducting him into our Hall of Fame. That time, many people realized, oh, so Simon Sundaraj is from Tamil Nadu. That's how our football heroes have been forgotten, not only in our state, even outside Tamil Nadu. So after Raman Vijayan, many other players went on to represent India: Mohan Raj, Ravanan. I must tell you about two players, Guna Pandian and P. Nagesh. Guna Pandian played for Reserve Bank of India, was a defender, and Nagesh played for ICF and Madras Porters as a forward. You come to Chennai and go to North Chennai, where the passion for football is so high. Everyone know about Nagesh. People who have seen him play say he was a Lionel Messi of Chennai football. Such a wonderful player. I had the fortune of interacting with him. He passed away in 2018. Outstanding player. Many fans remember his goals scored in the 70s and the 80s as if they watched it yesterday. Such a skillful player. Scored many memorable goals. If I were to pick one hero from Tamil Nadu football, from Tamil Nadu's history, it would be Nagesh. I've heard so many stories about him. I've heard Ghana songs sung in honor of Nagesh. So down to earth, wouldn't believe, if you had met him, you wouldn't believe that it was Nagesh, was like the Maradona or Pele or Messi of Tamil Nadu football. And Guna Pandey, another outstanding player. These two should have played for India for many years. Unfortunately, maybe they didn't have the what to say, that passion to represent India. They had the skills to play for India, but playing for India was not their priority. They were homesick. They preferred home food. They preferred to play in Chennai. So they could not represent the country for many years. And I want to tell you something about another outstanding figure, P. Janagiram. Another name still remembered in Kerala. In the 80s, he was Kerala's sub-junior junior coach. Kerala went on to win many national titles under his stewardship. Papachan, Sharaf Ali, all these big players were trained by him. He's from Chennai. He was from Chennai, no more. And he was probably the first Indian coach to work abroad. The late 80s, he coached Victory Football Club in the Maldives. He was a pioneering coach. He had coached Indian Railways to the Santosh Trophy title in the 60s. He was the coach of Tamil Nadu when they reached the Santosh Trophy final for the first time in 1972. Outstanding player. Was built like a boxer. He was one of the best headers in the country. Sadly, he did not get the recognition he deserved, like Simon, like Kittu. But things are looking up in a way. Players from Tamil Nadu or in the Indian Super League, Mohan Raj is now retired. Now you have Edwin, Susai, Romario, Nandakumar. There is another fine prospect, a product of Raman Vijayan. Shivasakti is coming along nicely. He scored against Leicester City's junior team in a tournament in the UK yesterday. He scored 2 goals from a poor family near Karakudi. So things are better, much better. I can say with conviction that football is one of the most popular sports in schools, not only in Chennai, even in districts. Whether we have enough coaches to train all these eager kids is another question. Whether we have vision in the state association or district associations to develop football is another massive question. Maybe that is a topic for another day. I don't want this speech to get into a cynical line, because there are so many complaints about the way associations function. Would be reading news in newspapers. Would be reading a lot of articles about Indian Olympic Association, Indian Hockey Association. The story is the same. This infighting and mismanagement is rampant in Tamil Nadu football as well. The fight between Chennai Association and the Tamil Nadu Football Association. If not for the lack of vision in the association, it would be somewhere else. And in referring to Tamil Nadu has a preeminent position. Only Indian referee to have officiated in the World Cup. He's from Tamil Nadu. He's a very good friend of mine, K. Shankar. He officiated as an assistant in a couple of matches in 2002, that is Korea-Japan World Cup. Finally, in 2014, we got an ISL team in Tamil Nadu, that is Chennai FC. Originally, Tamil Nadu, that is Chennai, was not supposed to get a team. It was a team meant for Bengaluru. The Sun Group were the initial owners. They were planning to start a club in Bengaluru, but they could not. They withdrew in the last minute. So Tamil Nadu had a chance. That's how Chennai FC was born. I was a print journalist that time. I still remember my friends in Calcutta, friends from Calcutta asking me, "What do you have in Chennai? Is there any football in Chennai?" I too had that worry, because in the National League, there was no Tamil Nadu team every year. Maybe Indian Bank had played in the National League intermittently, so we didn't have a team on a regular basis. But all our doubts, especially the doubts of my friends from Kolkata, were put to an end by our passionate fans. I run a YouTube channel and where we discuss Chennai FC, where we discuss Indian Super League. Outstanding fans from all corners of Tamil Nadu. I can tell you the passion and knowledge of fans from villages in Ramanathapuram district, in Pudukkottai, in Ariyalur, in Perambalur, bowls me over in every live session. They follow football with utmost passion. Their knowledge about football is even better than Chennai fans. That is the, that's the way they follow Chennai FC. Chennai FC have won 2 titles in 8 seasons, one of the most successful clubs. While Kerala has nothing, Tamil Nadu has 2 titles. In the I-League 2, Chennai City FC, who played their home matches in Coimbatore, won a title. Sadly, they did not take part in the I-League last year. I hope they would come back stronger. And I forgot to touch upon about our women's team, because I read in the Hindu newspaper about Rotary International President Jennifer Jones promising to have more women members in your organization. I was looking for an opportunity to pull you up. No, if I didn't see enough women members, but the welcome speech was given by a woman Rotarian, so I don't have a chance to criticize you. There was a big article on in the Hindu about in which she had outlined her plans to get more women members. The women players of Tamil Nadu have been a credit to the state. What the men have not been able to achieve, the women did it in 2018. They won the national championship, senior national championship, beating the mighty Manipur. It was like Tamil Nadu versus India. Almost every player of that Manipur team was an international, had played for India. Tamil Nadu defeated the team to win the senior national championship in 2018. Outstanding achievement. In fact, Vijay's movie Bigil was inspired by their achievement. The way the film was made is another story. But I can tell you, I have interacted with all the players of the team. Almost the entire team was from outside Chennai, from poor backgrounds. Most of the players, daughters of, single mothers and daily wage laborers. Inspirational story. In the same year, Tamil Nadu junior women's team won the national championship. So Tamil Nadu in football, Tamil Nadu women are much better than the men's team. I can tell you with conviction. They have also won the IWL, Indian Women's League. A Tamil Nadu club, Sedu FC from Madurai, won the IWL 3 years ago. So we are an all-round state in football. Women's side is much better. It has a lot of achievements. More achievements are on the way, because after Manipur, I think Tamil Nadu has the best talent pool. That's about it. And you can ask me questions about the speech I gave just now, and also about maybe my World Cup experience. I've been to 3 World Cups, South Africa, Brazil and Russia. Qatar World Cup I will not go because I have moved away from print journalism. I'm a commentator now. I would probably doing commentary from a Mumbai studio for this World Cup. And it was a pleasure talking to you. I hope I have not bored you all. And the floor is open for questions, if you have any.
Sir, Vasudevan here. Thanks for this wonderful narration on the history of football in Tamil Nadu, which most of us were not aware. The legacy which TN carried in football. We have been always following up the international players, where we too, as a state, we had such quality international players. It was a news for us. My question is, sir, in our 90s, when we were in our schoolhood, where football was introduced to us also, I still remember the Italy 90 World Cup matches and all, where Maradona, Sulaci, a lot of players, international players we used to watch. And this football fever will catch up every 4 years during our childhood. What is your opinion? Why that has not kickstarted? Is it because of cricket, which overshadowed the other sport in TN or in India? Because I still remember during those phases we used to play football, but we passionately follow cricket very much. And but every 4 years, that World Cup we used to very closely follow. So what is your opinion?
Yes, it's a good question. I don't follow cricket at all. As a journalist, I stayed away from cricket on my own. That is, I had an opportunity to Sri Lanka to cover cricket matches. I said I will not cover cricket. I used to follow cricket very passionately when I was young. In my village, we used to travel from village to village, and there was a power cut to watch cricket matches. I still remember how we moved to another village to watch the 1996 World Cup quarterfinal, where this Saeed Anwar was bowled by Venkatesh Prasadan. I still remember that. Okay, this is a serious question. I will try to answer you. Answer you very briefly. See, when on TV debates, when they want to criticize cricket, they call me, thinking that no, I will say something against cricket. I have nothing against cricket. Cricket developed everything on its own. Can you imagine a sports body giving away 30,000, 40,000 pension to its domestic players? There is no sports body in the entire world that has done so much for its own players. Cricket has done that. Not being a body controlled by the government helped cricket. Fortunately, cricket was a game India took to its heart organically. I mean, you can't force a sport on any nation. You take New Zealand, rugby is big. England and Germany, other countries, football. Likewise, in India, cricket cricket became big on its own. And Cricket Association became professional much earlier than other associations. Your question about football is perfectly all right, because we used to watch the World Cup with a lot of passion, but once in 4 years. We do watch the Premier League with equal fascination. But what about playing? What about developing players? That's where the problem lies. We don't have enough coaches. We don't have grounds. Cricket can pay and use grounds. But football needs a good facility, good ground, basically. With a grass cover, we don't have it. And as I said during the speech, the lack of vision in the State Association, All India Federation is glaring, it's appalling. I can go on forever about their lack of drive or lack of professionalism, mismanagement in the association. That is the main reason, because even FIFA keeps telling us that you are a sleeping giant. How long can we sleep? That is my question. We need vision, but there is hope, because lots of people are watching football, following football. Even the matter is in the Supreme Court now. There was supposed to be a verdict today about the new constitution of the All India Football Federation, but it has been postponed to the next week. Let's hope for the best. I would say the main reason is lack of vision in people who are managing football in the country. That is in the All India level as well as the state level. It percolates down to the district level. I'm very sad to see so many parents who are willing to spend money on professional coaching, but they don't get it, even in Chennai. That is the sad scenario now, but I hope things will change. Let's remain optimistic.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Raghu sir. And thank you for mentioning about our RI President Jennifer Jones. Thank you to follow all our Rotary news. She was in Chennai recently. Sir, my question would be, do you see any role for us, the Rotary Club, to get involved in the game in any manner? We don't know how to start. We thought we'll take your advice.
I would, yes, a tournament for school boys would be a step in the right direction, maybe. All they need is action. One tournament which is professionally conducted in whatever city it is possible. That would be nice, no? If you give the players a nice T-shirt and attractive prizes, if you conduct it professionally, if you start the match on time, if you hire professional referees, and if you give them a decent ground in the first place, with some grass cover, I think students would love it. All they need is a platform to showcase their skill. So that would be a good step.
Surely, sir. We'll definitely work on that. Thank you, sir. Saranamurthy, sir, I think he wanted to ask a question. Saranamurthy, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you audible? Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Sir, my one question.
Yeah. Please.
Sir, how to develop the Tamil Nadu football?
Sir, you asked a tough question in a single night. It's like, how do we eliminate corruption in India in government offices? Question is simple, but the answer is really complex. Sir, in
Your
India,
view, sir.
Sports management is not professional, sir. We do have people who don't care much about the welfare of the players. development of the game. That is the problem. As a print journalist, for around 16 years, I have watched them at close quarters. They care nothing about the games. They just want to hang in there. They want to hold on to their posts. That's it. There is no accountability, because these are all honorary jobs. So that's why I'm against honorary jobs. Everybody should work professionally. They get some money, a salary as fees. They'll be held accountable. These guys are all honorary, the hold honorary jobs. So nobody can question them. They'll say, I don't get a salary. Don't ask me questions. That's how their attitude is. I mean, sadly, this is not confined to football only. Volleyball, wonderful sport. Tamil Nadu has so many talented youngsters in volleyball. But we are not doing anything. No professional league for volleyball within the state. And All India, at the All India level, there was a professional league. It was stopped after a year. It has started again. We are some 20-25 years behind Japan, Iran, China. For our talent, we should be the #1 state in Asia. You should be qualifying for the Olympics World Championship. Sadly, we are nowhere close to that global participation. Once again, the same story. The football lovers can take some solace from the fact that every sport in India is affected by mismanagement.
Okay, one more question, sir.
Please.
Hello.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, coming FIFA World Cup 2022. Which country championship? Your view.
I want Brazil to win. I want Brazil to win. The last 2 World Cups, I had predicted the winners rightly. In 2014, I said Germany. 2018, France. This time I want Brazil to win. I want Neymar to have a trophy because a wonderful player. I love his skills. He does things which no other player can. He does some extraordinary, unexpected things. Full of creativity. People accuse him of being a cheat. He falls down to the ground very easily, but I'm a big fan of his. So I want Brazil to win. They have a very good squad. As do France. France also a very good team. It's going to be an open World Cup, but I'm rooting for Brazil.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Ponrathil, sir.
Thank you, Saranamurthy, sir. Raghu, sir, to throw a little light about Saranamurthy, sir. He's the football coach of Anna University College of Engineering, Nagarkoil. And for the past 15 years, he's been conducting a 5 tournament in Coimbatore entirely with his own money.
Fabulous. And Kanyakumari, Nagarkoil is the headquarters of football in Tamil Nadu. I had been to Tutur, that is the coastal villages in Kanyakumari. Susai Raj, who is one of the best players in Tamil Nadu, he is from Tutur,
yes,
from a fishing village in Kanyakumari district. I've been there. It's like Brazil.
Yes.
It's like
yes, sir,
football
yes,
is like a religion there. Every village, coastal village has a church and a football field in front of the church. Most of the places.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Audience will be taking 1 or 2 questions. If you have any, you can kindly unmute yourself and ask Raghu, sir.
I don't get a question from
Jennifer
Jones.
On a lighter note, I hope I'm not annoying you. What was your reaction after watching the movie Bigil, which was based on?
Horrible, sir. It was such a bad movie, such a lazy movie. I was seething with anger, sir, after watching the movie. My friends, Ramanuji, I was supposed to be a commentator in the movie. I had been called for audition. Fortunately, I could not go. I went to a book launch that same day. I'm happy that I could not do the movie. I could not do that commentator job. So the lack of seriousness in that movie was appalling, sir. You would have watched Chak De, you would have watched Dangal. We make fun of Bollywood. In Bollywood, they take this sports subject with all seriousness, sir, they do research. Amir Khan would have spent so much time on observing that coaches, the wrestling coaches' mannerisms, is no body language. Here, nothing, sir. No seriousness, no conviction. I have a mass hero. I will take whatever. I will produce whatever movie I want. Shocking, sir. I mean, in that movie, actually I wanted to do a short film on Tamil Nadu women's team success in 2018. It is worth a short film. It is worth a documentary, not a short film. Documentary. I was planning to do a documentary on the outstanding success of the Tamil Nadu women's team in 2018. They made a movie and made a mess of it. You would see Hinduja in that movie with a boycott. It was a character of Indumati, excellent player. She is from Kadalur. She is a sub-inspector in Tamil Nadu police now. So she was a star player in that team with 10 goals. If that movie had reproduced their stories, their original stories, it would have been a fantastic film without any cinematic changes. But they wanted to make Vijay a star. That's it. And all the goals would be scored with the bicycle kicks, all animated spectators. There was no authenticity in that movie. Nothing. I mean, no touch with reality. Very sad attempt. And it also showed us in a poor light. They took the game for granted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. This is Bhuvneshwari here. Yeah, I just want to share a few things. My grandfather was a football player in the late 40s. And he was the one who constructed Nehru Stadium in Coimbatore. He was one among the ones.
What's his name, by the way?
He is called as K. Dwaraiswamy Naidu.
Okay.
And so I just want to share.
Okay.
And
yeah,
this year we are celebrating his 100th year.
Okay. Because
so
CR Viswanathan from Coimbatore had a hand in constructing the Nehru Stadium in Chennai.
Okay.
So I'm glad to know that your grandfather had been in football administration or had been a football fan or a player.
And usually they say that this is the only stadium which have Coimbatore Stadium is the only stadium which has shops around, so which fetches income for the stadium to run.
Yes, it's a wonderful facility. I was there for the Chennai City match. I loved watching the match from the stands. It was closer to action. I saw so many families watching football when Chennai City played their I-League matches. Wonderful place and heart of the city. You don't have to travel outside the city. And as you said, there were shops just outside the stadium. Superb facility. That's how a stadium should be. Heart of the city, accessible. It should not scare people away from the venue. It should be inviting. If you come to the Nehru Stadium in Chennai, you would hesitate to get inside. You would be thinking, no, would I be allowed inside? But whereas, no, it should be inviting. Our security, they don't know the concept of people enjoying sport as you would have in the States, where it is an industry where people go to stadiums with their families, right? We need to have that culture, but I was very happy to see so many families for the I-League matches of Chennai City and Coimbatore. I hope Coimbatore continues to remain an important football center in Tamil Nadu. It deserves, because Kerala is also nearby. Lots of fans come from Kerala also to Coimbatore.
Thank you, sir. It was nice having you. And
it's my pleasure. If you had not asked this question, I would have written a complaint to your president, Jennifer Jones, saying, no woman asked me a question. You saved.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhuvna. I think we'll definitely try to organize a tournament in your grandfather's 100th year. Our Rotary Club should definitely chip in, and we'll try to do something. Thank you, Bhuvna. Thank you for that information. I think Varun sir wanted to ask a question. Dr. Varun.
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. I have been a very ardent fan. I'm still an ardent fan of football. I keep following all the leagues. So I wanted, because you've spoken so lively about everything about football. I just want to know, which is the favorite league you like, sir, in football? EPL,
Chennai League, sir.
Bundesliga. Which, sir? Which one?
Chennai Super Division, sir. As I told you, for some reason, see, I have covered some 30-35 World Cup matches in person.
Yes, sir.
In person, but I wouldn't have the same thrill before I had the for the ICF Chennai Customs match at the Nehru Stadium.
Oh.
Okay, that is I'm being honest with you, because these are my players, this is my city, this is my ground. I had that ownership. As a journalist, I would write about these guys, and no, that relationship, that intense feelings one has for this local league. I mean, if you have a league in a city, if you start following it regularly, you will understand that feeling. Okay, that aside, Premier League, just for its history, just for its stories. I love watching Premier League. The passion
which club, sir? Which club?
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh, Arsenal, sir. Very
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Because when I started following Arsenal, we're winning everything in style and substance in the early 2000s under Arsene Wenger.
Yes, sir.
And there is also a beautiful book on Arsenal fandom. It's called Fever Pitch, sir. Fabulous book. Fever Pitch.
Yes, sir. I have one mad fan, a friend of mine, who has stickered his car like Arsenal on top, Arsenal on the side. His bonnet.
So it's like your first love, sir. If you start loving a club, you would not leave it. I'm telling you. Arsenal have not won the title since 2003-04.
Yes, sir.
But it's like my part of my life. Even if you give me $1 million, I won't change my clubs. Change my club.
Oh, nice, sir.
It's like that, no? In other words,
and then something apart out of all these, like there is something called as GOAT. Who is, according to you, is a GOAT, sir? Now, who is the greatest of all time?
All time. I mean, current footballer.
Current. We go back. We have a lot of players to decide. So now we have only few in fingers.
I like Sir Messi and Ronaldo. I like both of them.
So one.
Only one person you want, huh?
Yes, sir.
Really tough one, sir. I like, sir. You might be surprised. I like Luis Suarez a lot.
Suarez, oh yes, sir. I have seen your tweets. You have a lot of tweets regarding his goals and all. I've seen.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's a much maligned figure, Luis Suarez. People hate him for his that biting instance.
Bite gate and all.
But sir, Maradona blatantly cheated in a World Cup. Okay, blatantly cheated in a World Cup by putting the ball in with his hand. Okay, but we celebrate him as celebrate Maradona as a genius. So why not that same leeway not given to Suarez? That's my question. And I have watched him in action in Brazil.
Nice, sir.
I was there during that Ghana Uruguay match in 2010, where he stopped the ball on the goal line.
And the penalty
was missed by Gian.
And he celebrated to the extreme.
Yeah, in the dugout he celebrated. It was all bad, but no one can deny his talent, because South Americans look at football, all this gamesmanship or cheating, as some sort of talent, sir. Even Maradona took pride in his cheat goal more than his fabulous goal.
It's his golden hand, sir. It's not a golden ball, golden boot, it's golden hand.
Yeah. Maradona took more pride in that handball goal than the world-class goal he scored in the same match. That's how he said, no, referee did not spot it. What is my problem? His job was to spot it. He did not spot it. Maybe it was my smartness. That's how South Americans approach football. In English football, if somebody does that, he will be vilified all his life. That is
Yeah.
their idea of football, being fair, not cheating. Because in England, if you fake injuries, if you feign injuries, if you try to cheat somebody by faking your injury, you are looked down upon. But in South America, it's all, everything is fair, sir. That is their philosophy. But I have to tell you, Suarez is an outstanding player. If I were to pick one player, if my life is on the line, I would choose Suarez. From the past, it would be Gerd Müller of Germany, because he had the knack of scoring crucial goals, only crucial goals. World Cup final, World Cup semi-final, Euros final, Euro semi-final. He played 3 Champions League final. It was European Cup then. He scored in 2 finals. He was the man for the big moment. Gerd Müller, he recently passed away. Such a clinical finisher inside the box.
Yes, sir.
I would put my life on Suarez, sir. Such an outstanding player, and is a killer in front of goals. I watched one goal against England in Sao Paulo, I think in Brazil. He had come off injury, sir. He had not played any match in the World Cup. It was his first match.
Yes.
One long punt from the goalkeeper. Gerrard tried to hit the ball, but the ball would come to Suarez by luck. In a flash, sir, it was like a bullet. It was his first match after an injury layoff. He would send the ball flying into the net. Such clinical finishing. I mean, he has proved himself in England, in Spain. He proved himself with Atletico Madrid. Messi, for all his talent, has not proved himself outside Barcelona. Greatness. I think Maradona is better than Messi because of his exploits at Napoli. In an ordinary team, he won. With no one, he won, sir. Maradona in Italy.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I've taken a lot of time of yours.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you,
was
thank you.
interesting. Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghu sir. Thank you, Varun sir. I think with this, we would wind up the question and answer session. And now I think I'll have to call Varun sir back once again. Dr. Varun is the president of the Rotary Club of Ranipet Elite. And may I kindly request Rotary Dr. Varun sir to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Again, thank you so much, sir. I'm very ardent fan of football. I have been a football player, but restricted to some part of because of district, and then I have to join it. But thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It has been a very honor and pleasure to have such a good interaction with you, sir. You've been patient and answering our questions, which may be silly to an extent, serious to an extent, but thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, nothing silly, sir. Nothing silly. So the reason I like football is it's democratic, sir. It does not look down upon anyone.
Yes,
It always offers a level playing field. Everyone is the same when it comes to football. It was my pleasure talking to you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. On part of all our Rotarians from all the 3 e-clubs, it was a pleasure and honor to have you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for taking your time out to spend time with us, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
sir. Thank you all for your patience, and I must thank Mr. Ratnavel in particular for inviting me. He's such a big cricket aficionado, and he is respected by so many of my journalist friends for his passion, for his cricket passion. I'm so happy to have been a part of this session. Enjoyed being here. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Raghu sir. Before we wind up the meeting, I would have a small request to every one of you to turn your videos for a moment. I'll just take a screenshot as a memory of this meeting. Thank you. We'll end this meeting. We thank all from the Rotary Club of Chennai Prisms, Ranipet Elite, and Coimbatore Changemakers. Special thanks to Rotary Club of Coimbatore Royals. Rotarians have joined us for this meeting. And the biggest of thanks should be reserved to Raghu sir for this wonderful meeting. Thank you.
Thank
We'll hereby close the meeting in a minute. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a great night. Thank you.
Good night.